let's look at why training is important. Let's look at this graph. Now this graph tells us a story, and in fact this graph is derived from an actual company figure, but for the sake of our convenience, let's call it an XYZ company. This is training cost versus hidden cost. Now, what is hidden cost for a company? See, a hidden cost could be something like absenteeism, which is like if employees remain absent in companies, then the work gets delayed, which in turn causes a loss in revenue, productivity. On top of that, if you want to carry out the work, you might have to pull in temporary workers and you have to pay them extra. Apart from that, there are other things like employee turnover. If more and more people start leaving the organization, what happens as a result of that is we have to bring in new employees, give them both process training and behavioral training to bring them up to a certain level. Now, that also is a cost to the company. So when training is there, it not only elevates productivity, but also it improves morale and motivation of employees, reducing this hidden cost. So if you look at the graph here, between 2000 to 2004, the training cost, which is in fact the blue line at the bottom, it's very insignificant. There is no marked increase. Whereas on the other hand, the topmost line, which is the hidden cost, there is a significant increase. It was almost as if it was shooting through the roof, and now at 2004, it is almost unbearable for the company to stand it anymore. So it has decided to invest in training. And as you could see, significantly, and suddenly there is a drop in hidden cost. And as it continued to invest more in training, the hidden cost continues to go down. And after some period of time, from 2007 onwards, the training cost has remained same. However, the hidden cost continues to go down. And finally, at 2010, as you could see today itself, the hidden cost is pretty much at par with the industry standard. Now let's look at the next slide. Now this slide explains us the relationship between productivity and training cost. See here, what I mean by productivity is simply the bottom line, the revenue that a company generates. The graph on the left hand side says the amount spent on training, and the graph on the right hand shows the amount that is generated through revenue. Again, if we look at between 2000 to 2004, the training cost was, well, it was there, but there has been no significant changes in that. Similarly, there has been no changes in revenue. However, there is a little, increase and decrease. So we cannot derive a relationship. Company now started investing a little bit in training in 2005, and suddenly you can see the revenue starts going up. Now, in 2006 and 7, it continued to invest more and more in training, so as the revenue increasing. Now, even if the training cost has remained the same, or the investment in training has remained the same from 2007 to 2010, the productivity or the revenue part of it, of the company, has constantly increased or is constantly on the rise. So you can derive a direct relationship between training cost and revenue. We can say they are probably directly proportional to each other. The more you invest in training, the more revenue it tends to bring for your company. Now, however, it doesn't mean that you have to spend huge amounts of money. However, at a certain point in time, as you could see, that after 2007, the company doesn't have to invest more. So it has to reach a ceiling and your revenue keep on increasing. Now, if I gave you that concept on a nutshell, let's look at this lovely little slide. As you could see here, if you spend or invest $1 into your training, in fact the outcome is multiplied into many dollars, or the revenue that you generate, the bottom line you generate, the cost savings that you make turns out to be in numbers. So you spend $1 in training, the returns are huge. So I couldn't stress the importance of training more than this.